Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Boog.
Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside this gentle world. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. Days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is recorded in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 263.5. We are here on a Monday night special broadcast. Got my boys with me, Pan Cheesy, Fabster, Rick Dom, and a very special guest, B. Brandon, a.k.a. PosableProductions, a.k.a. at Batman the Articulated Series. And we have some really exciting news and information to break this evening. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Yep. I'm
super excited to get right into the meat and potatoes and have Brandon on for the first time since what? The end of year spectacular last year.
Yeah. That's our extravaganza.
Yeah, the extravaganza. That's right.
He kept saying he wanted to wait for the right moment to strike, and my God.
I pulled that when I needed it.
That's right. So yeah, how you been, B? Everything's good with you?
Yeah, I'm just getting this kind of opportunities been huge for me. I mean, it's going to be in December. It'll be 10 years of me doing this stuff. 10 years of being an A.C.B.A. Posting my first shot and all that. So it's kind of cool that coming right up on that 10-year anniversary is when I got a big opportunity.
No doubt. Let's jump right in. Tell us what's going on right now.
So I don't know if you have the photos ready to share, but the madmen over at Mondo, the next figure in the Batman the Animated Series 1/6 figure line is MANBAT, which is insane. They told me they were making MANBAT. I couldn't quite picture how that would work, considering these are 12-inch figures to begin with. Mm-hmm. This guy's got a 34-inch wingspan.
Holy cow.
Trying to shoot that when you're used to shooting like mini-mates and 6-inch figures and stuff was challenging, but they gave me the opportunity to both reveal it and to take the product photos for it. So that was just incredible.
Incredible. Wow. We do have one shot of the wingspan, right?
Boom, there it is.
Is that you? Is that you, Brandon?
Yep.
Yes.
That is me. They needed all the photos to be square. I never shoot square. So
oh man!
Want to get the 34-inch wingspan and not have your face plastered all over it? That was difficult.
No, that's pretty legit.
That's a creative way to cover my face.
It's beautiful.
No, that's legit.
This is as big as some of like the Bat vehicles out there right now.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep. And just like the articulation of it, I mean, the articulation's better, a lot better than what DC Collectibles even did. Probably 5 years ago they did one.
Yeah.
And they just had two different sets of static wings, basically. And this has static large wings, and it's got articulated short wings. So the articulation of the legs is insane. It's got basically everything. It's got the swivel at the ankle. It's got a cut at the ankle. It's got a cut at the bottom of the pants, and then it's got the cut further up on the. It's got a knee joint too. It's pretty incredible. You need all of that to make it stand. You really do need all that articulation. Mm-hmm. The joints are great, at least on the prototype I had, which was awesome. That was a problem with some of the early Mondo figures in this line. They've come a long way with that. Some of the re-releases they've had of like the original Batman and stuff. much better as far as the joint tightness and all that.
What-
So
what have we-
I was worried about with this. My task was to photograph it in scenes, and I was really worried about getting them to stand up, but it worked out.
What have we seen so far from this line for people that may not know other
Well,
characters? I mean,
They've done a couple versions of Batman. They did the original blue one. They did a black and just straight black, no cell shading one. They did a re-release of the blue one with slightly changed proportions, just kind of an improvement. They did Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Joker, and Harley is coming up soon, I believe.
nice.
Oh, very
I'm not
nice.
sure. I think she went up for pre-order already, so I don't think it's going to be too far off within a couple months, probably.
Have we? This is going to be an exclusive at Comic-Con, or how's this working?
So I don't know for sure what the deal with that is going to be. I know they're going to have more details on their Instagram announcement tomorrow. It'll be on everyone, not just Instagram. But I think it's an online. Sometimes they'll have different versions. Like they'll have a limited edition version that has more accessories and stuff, and then they'll put a more general one on. A couple of weeks or a couple months later. That's not timed.
So you
Yeah,
are
how is
actually
it for
out
you
ahead of
to-
the.
Oh, go ahead, Boog.
Go ahead. Fabio, I'll remember.
Okay. As someone who this is probably like your big introduction. You've always known, of course, the Batman animated series line. You're well known, Posable Productions and X-Men the Articulated series and Batman the Articulated series, all that stuff. But that's all 1/12 scale. So what was that transition like when obviously Mondo comes on the scene with a 1/6 scale version of what is essentially your favorite property, right? And what was that like transition moving from 1/12 to 1/6, and how do you like it?
So when I got the first Batman, I honestly I try to have a rule for myself that I can't buy things I won't shoot. But I was going to make an exception with that. I was going to get that first one. It was going to be an awesome piece on my shelf, and I wasn't going to expect to shoot it really, just because I don't have props for that. I at the time didn't have big enough space for that. You got to be real creative. That's the difference. You got to be really creative with your space and with your props and your scaling. So I have a lot of 12-inch, 6-inch scale dioramas that I'll use. If you put them far enough back, shoot it from the right angle, you can kind of make that work. That was just for like the normal 12-inch figures. When they told me I needed this, I went out and bought the giant 10-foot wide photography backgrounds and backdrops and the stand and all that. So I had to rush ship a lot of stuff to my house to make this possible. It was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be because I was pretty worried about shooting something so much bigger, knowing that they were going to want a lot of shots with the wings wide out and everything. But it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. Again, just being creative on angles and using glass and stands and hidden stands and stuff. But it was tricky for sure.
Fabio, I don't know if it's maybe just me, but it's kind of blinking in and out. I don't know if that's just me. Sorry.
I
Yeah,
don't see him blinking, thankfully.
No, yeah, I might just
Okay.
click out and click in. Yeah, dude, as far as being, how many entries into this line already, how does it stack up with a lot of the other figures in the line so far?
So yeah, it's definitely. I mean, the thing they do really well, and it's a lot easier on a 1/6 sculpt. The sculpts are insane. And one of the things I think is really cool is that they got a couple, because I've been taking Batman shots since DC Collectibles started making them. So that was 2014. There's people that I've followed on Instagram since that point that are working on this line now. So the sculptor and Plastic 4 on Instagram, incredible. He's doing the X-Men ones and the Batman ones right now. Maybe the He-Man ones too. I think he's actually doing some of those. So they gave an opportunity to him. And then there's Zelu, I think it's 1984, also on Instagram. And he's doing the paint masters for these now. So it's just been really cool to see them embrace the community and pluck people from the community to be working on these things.
Is that the dude that did the whole, like, what if Kenner done in the animated series style?
No, I think that's Batman the Articulated, or the Animated Fan, I think it is.
Okay.
This guy has made, probably 100, maybe more, custom animated series figures just out of the DC Collectibles ones. He sculpts pieces that don't exist otherwise.
Oh, wow.
I can't imagine how many figures he had to buy to make that possible. It just does insane work. So
yeah,
he
he
was
did like the Batman Forever, like live action stuff as animated series, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's
That
what
was-
I'm thinking of. Got it.
Yep. So it was really cool that they seem to be recognizing people from the community. There's not a lot of companies still that are doing that. You know, it's happening more now than it was a couple years ago, but there's still not enough of it.
That's one thing I've always really liked about Mondo is that they've always kind of put the artistry first and the artist first. Everything from the vinyl records. You know, I remember being at DesignerCon last year, and Florian Bertmer was there at the booth, and he had an exclusive. I think it was the Mothra soundtrack vinyl, and he did some art for it. And just right there, hanging out casually at the booth, was able to get him to sign it. And they just made that side of the industry so accessible. Is the artistry of it.
Yep. Yeah, even the boxes are designed like the X-Men boxes are designed by Dan Wiesenmeyer, I think it is, who did like tons of design work on the original show and everything. Just everything about it. You're right. It's just like start to finish. Everything they do is just about aesthetics, and the Batman animated series posters they did with Phantom City Creative are insane. You've seen those.
Do you know ballpark what this is gonna retail for?
I know it's more expensive than the other ones have been. Don't quote me on this. I know I'm pretty sure it's under 300, but probably 270-ish is my guess.
Okay.
I think that's about what they've talked about for this.
It's huge.
Okay.
It's,
It's huge.
there's a lot of plastic. There's I should have talked about this earlier too. Maybe you showed the prop shots. There's 5 different heads, all just like impeccable.
Oof.
Just the painting, the ripped T-shirt, which actually is from I believe it's from the Terror in the Sky. So the second Man-Bat episode, but it wasn't really the same Man-Bat. It was his wife. They included that in there too, so you can kind of recreate scenes from that too.
Nice.
That was cool. And then two giant sets of arms, and then 2 smaller sets of articulated arms.
Yeah, and I see a stand here, which is pretty much what you get with all of these figures, right?
Yep.
I have to expect the box is going to be gorgeous too.
Yeah.
The what?
Yeah.
The box.
Yeah, I haven't seen the box yet. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Damn, I hope this is available like at the con, because this is, if it's displayed, with everything else there, and people maybe not into the hobby or not into 1/6 scale in general. I know that's happened to me, where just seeing them there all lined up and seeing how far the roster has gone already it's hard to jump in with one introductory piece right here at the booth.
Yep.
I mean, the thing about these large pieces like this too is that you don't even have to be like fully invested into all of these figures. This might just be your one sort of like standalone, like 12-inch size figure that you want for your display case too. So this is definitely one to own. Iconic figure from the show. I was going to ask you. Sorry,
and to jump in real quick, good for them. And some of the chat is even mentioning it. Like, good for them for not shying away from like big figures too. That Sabretooth from the X-Men line, another great example. And then He-Man, he's got his own mounts. They've got Panthro and
I couldn't believe they did that.
I mean, good for them for not shying away from this big stuff, because clearly, like, people want it.
So you're out ahead of them right now though, because you are getting the official kind of reveal, but they're not gonna give us all the information until when? Tomorrow or the day after?
I think probably tomorrow. I think is when their official announcement goes up. That should have all the details. I don't know if it goes on sale tomorrow. I think they may announce the on sale date tomorrow. Because it's technically a San Diego online exclusive.
Okay.
So I imagine it'll go on sale around that time, so a couple weeks.
Come on, you could have a sad Man-Bat. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Tough, man. That's a tough life.
A great head sculpt.
Yeah, no, I was really blown away by them because they didn't give me any heads up on what I was getting. Basically, I saw one picture with the wings just so I could kind of wrap my head around how big this thing was, and that's really the only heads up I got. I had to check with them to make sure I got all the props out of this giant box that came. So yeah, I was blown away that there was 5 heads with it. again, that's a lot of plastic. They could have just sent that with 2 heads, and it probably would have been worth it.
Can you give us a little insight into the whole process and the back and forth, how they initially contacted you and how this all came together? Because I know we were talking a little bit behind the scenes about the turnaround time here. You didn't have a lot of time to produce, but clearly you clearly
Yeah.
you went above and beyond here.
That's what you see. You see that with these big companies. I guess you don't really see it unless you're working with them, but the timelines are always changing on things. They weren't planning on announcing this tomorrow at first. They just, they told me a couple days ago the timeline was shifting on that. Maybe they're going to do it close to Comic-Con. I don't know. And then, so as far as posting it, even that was like an unclear thing. But they approached me. So I'm actually working on them with on another project that I can't talk about. That is arguably more exciting to me. It's hard. It's completely different than this one. It's really hard to compare them. Just having these 2 different avenues I'm going down with, like, one of my favorite companies is really incredible. So I reached out to their PR team a couple years ago, maybe 4 years ago, just to see, I sent them some of my DC collectibles photography, and just to see if they had any, interest in having me shoot for them or anything. And so they sent me some samples from that point on. And then I approached them with this other project I can't talk about maybe 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. And then that just got conversations going from there that they wanted me to, do the, they never told me I was going to be doing this. They just kind of said they wanted to keep me in the loop, and, and then about 3 weeks ago, they told me they wanted me to shoot this, or they asked me if I wanted to shoot this, like I was going to say no to that.
Right.
And then, 3 days later, like that was right before the weekend. And then on Monday, they're like, all right, we're overnighting this thing to you, and we need the photos by July 7th. So thank God I had time off. I had vacation time scheduled, which worked out wonderfully because I spent a lot of times. I just looked it up. I took 1,100 shots of this thing.
Oh, wow.
34 kind of A.C.B.A. style shots. And then I think it was close to 40. No, it's like 20 something of the prop shots, the white background shots and everything. Turnarounds. They had me do a full turnaround on the white background and everything, which was a nightmare to light. I'm not good at white hat to begin with. I needed to order more lights for that too. I'm glad I did. So yeah, there was a lot of shots and a lot of work within a 2-week span. But I think it was also a test. If I can shoot this thing, I'm pretty sure I can shoot anything.
Yeah, and not to mention that because you've went so large with the scale now, you've got even more space for 6-inch stuff, and you're gonna you can really go nuts.
Gonna go crazy. And now I got to start investing in actual 1/6 dioramas. That's really what's got. Yeah. I can squeeze by with what I got, but I need to have some bigger stuff for sure.
So far, everything Mondo has shown for SDCC has been like seriously impressive. We got some people in the chat are saying Red Foreman, laughing Prince Adam. My
Incredible.
God.
They love them. They really do, because they have the Wolverine with the picture that was San Diego last year, the year before. They had Batman with a thumbs up and the smile. That was like an exclusive addition to one of the Batman figures too.
Yeah, starting to think they got a sense of humor over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask, you're very gifted at making the animated series figures in 6-inch scale seem more animated and more dynamic than the posing allows them to be. What would you say is your favorite piece of articulation or technology in these bigger scaled figures that are not present in the smaller scale ones, that you feel they could also convince people that are kind of a little tepid on stepping into 1/6 scale for these figures themselves?
So I would say with this one, like the ab crunch is insane. I did not expect, because like the original Batman doesn't have a great ab crunch. It doesn't go forward very far. It doesn't go backward very far. This, like, they did it right with this one. And he can kind of almost get into a ball. His head, the neck on him is really cool too, because it's kind of upward to begin with, and you can spin it so that it's downward.
Oh, nice.
You can spin it to the side, so he looks more to the side. They really thought about getting his head so it can really face any direction.
Nice.
So that's with this figure. That's definitely the thing that impressed me most. That nothing even close to the DC figures, the DC Collectibles figures. They have a Batman with an ab crunch that doesn't look that great. It works all right, but that's really, I don't think they have any other figures with ab crunches. So just having any sort of ab crunch is huge and allows you to be a lot more creative with what you're shooting.
Very nice.
It looks like you had a really good time shooting them, honestly.
Yeah. So like the backdrop on the wide shot there with the windows in the back, I had to print out two 36 by 80 posters.
Oh my god! Shout out to the Roland, huh?
Jesus Christ.
And so like my entire wall pretty much was that backdrop. That was my like catch-all. I need to be able to, if my colored backdrops aren't good enough, I need to at least have this that I can use as a background. Yeah. So that's basically straight from the cartoon, the backdrop there.
Oh, very nice.
So created, I had to kind of draw some of the lines in Photoshop. Got to touch up a lot of the stuff is the problem. But it's fun. I mean, that's how you make it look like it actually is, animated.
Right. And somebody was asking about the scale of him. We know the wingspan, but how tall is he?
So he's got probably, if he's standing fully straight up, he's got probably 3 inches on Batman, I would say. So probably 15-ish inches.
Oh, no, very nice.
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah, Captain McKay is saying that Azalea was also doing some NECA sculpting as well. So yeah, the dude is a talent, man.
Yeah. Yep.
He's got his toes in a lot of pools.
Well said, Rick.
Absolutely.
What's your turnaround time for these other things that you can't talk about? Or are you actually already done with those things?
So I'm done with. So it's going to be an ongoing project, God willing, if it does well. I think it's going to do well. I submitted one of the 2 that I'll be submitting. The second one, I'm waiting for them to send me the prototype probably after Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one of those knocked out. I need 2 before I can fully complete that first step of that project. And then the hope is that that's going to keep going with all of the... I can only say it's on the X-Men side of things. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's I can't wait to talk about that one.
No, I'm not
asking
you to confirm or deny anything, but Bean 2099 has got his fingers crossed for X-Men animated Apocalypse.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Huge. That'd be huge.
Get my hands on Sabretooth because he's gigantic. He looks gigantic. I haven't seen him in person. I imagine he'll be on display at San Diego.
Wait,
we'll shoot him sooner rather than later.
I saw pictures of the Sabretooth, but did I only see product shots? Is he actually out yet or no?
He's not out. Nope.
Okay.
See, you probably just saw the product shots.
All right, got it. Excellent. So
Hunter Greens also says if they start doing Justice League Unlimited, it's over.
Oh,
so
man,
they've teased. This isn't inside knowledge. This is stuff they've teased. They've teased Batman Beyond in the past too.
Oh my goodness! I lose my mind.
Could you imagine with this type of wingspan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could do it.
That's exactly right. This is probably a jumping off point for other things. If you can accomplish, there's nothing you can't. Like,
and Poncho's a big Ace the Bat Hound guy from way back. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fabio knows him better than anybody actually on the panel.
We're not gonna actually see you at San Diego next week, but we will see some of your work there. Some of these shots may be there, and
I hope so. I don't know that for sure, but I hope so. At least on the website, this will be. I shot the product photos for the actual figure. They usually post about 20 of those or so. So they sent 8 along for today for the reveal, and then there's at least 12 more that they'll be showing off, and I'll be showing off the rest of them too. I took a lot.
All right. And then we'll possibly see you in the flesh for New York Comic Con, yes?
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully I'll have something else I've worked on by then too.
Hell yeah.
So
what? Another reason to have you on the show.
You can't wait until can't wait till the end of the year.
Yeah,
that's true,
dude. That's so. We're all so happy for you, Brandon. This is such a great opportunity, and thanks for wanting to come on and share it with us, and in turn share it with the community ahead of the announcement tomorrow.
Well, I
no
appreciate
doubt.
it. Like I said, I had a short turnaround time on being able to announce this. They told me today basically that I could announce it because they're announcing it tomorrow. So this is my last opportunity. So I was really appreciative you guys were able to pull all of you together. I thought maybe it would just be one or two of you, but you got everybody. So I
Oh.
really appreciate the support on that. And I owe the community, A.C.B.A. specifically, a lot for me being at a point where I can be doing this stuff professionally. That's like, again, been doing this for 10 years. And for that to be, 10 years in to be at this point, I would
Yeah.
not have been there without A.C.B.A. No question about
Yeah,
it.
no doubt. This is
the dream,
a
dude.
great capstone. This is exciting for us, man. You and I have been speaking a little bit behind the scenes, and I've been trying to hold the water a little bit, a little bit too, all of this time. But yeah, man, we are so proud of you and happy for you, man, with this situation. So hopefully it'll be fruitful and continue on. This is 360 degrees for you, as this being one of your favorite properties and favorite lines, and to actually shoot this stuff is amazing, man.
Yeah,
Proud
I
of
would
you,
have been prepared for my first gig shooting product shots for it to be something I wasn't even interested in, honestly.
Right,
I
right.
wouldn't do that at any point, but for it to be literally my favorite property is, yeah, I can't believe how lucky I am.
So you want to give us the final kind of rundown on all of the specs here, and what people can expect and where they can expect to see this and where they can follow you, and just give us the whole spiel here. Give us your plugs.
Sure. So, it comes with what you see there. It goes on sale probably in the next couple weeks. Mondo themselves will have more details on that tomorrow with the official reveal. I still can't believe they gave me the initial reveal of this. That's a big deal for me. Like that's really cool. This is it's hard to, like, I have the two different accounts. I have way too many accounts. No question. I like that separation, but it causes issues too. So I'm at Posable Productions on Instagram and Threads. Posable Production and Batman the Articulated Series on Instagram and Threads as well. I'm doing some X-Men stuff on X-Men _ the Articulated Series. Some guy with no followers, no posts, whatever, just has X-Men the Articulated Series. I'm trying to figure out if there's any recourse there. I don't think there is. So X-Men _ the Articulated Series. I don't post to that one quite as much. Batman and Posable Productions are definitely my bread and butter, but that's where you can find me.
Hell yeah. And of course, for the official announcement, we can go to Mondo News on Instagram tomorrow, right?
Yep.
At Mondo News.
Yeah, I
man.
think we'll be able to post up some of these pictures on the A.C.B.A. Instagram when this is done, so you guys can see it there. But yeah, at Mondo News, you said, right, Fabio?
Yep, at Mondo News.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you everybody in the chat for joining us on a surprise Monday stream. Shades of Fobster Live over here. And thank you, Poncho, for putting it together, dude. Seriously.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for being available on such short notice. We were happy to do this for you, Brandon. Always
I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, always ecstatic to lift somebody up in the community, especially somebody putting out such a body of work such as yours. It's incredible. You'll love to see it.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
All right. We know this was all about this reveal. We will be back with you guys for Friday, and then remind that we will not cast in the following Wednesday.
Oh no.
No, yeah.
Is he cutting out for you guys?
Of course, when he's
Yes,
ending everything,
during
it'll
Comic
glitch out.
Con. So, yeah, that's that. So we getting up out of here. Thank you to everybody for hanging out in the chat. What did I miss?
Show, this isn't just self-serving, but show Mondo some love for doing this, because somebody from the community, this benefits everybody, in my opinion. So just show them that this is a good way to reveal things, even, on a podcast. Yeah. It didn't go to IGN this time. It didn't go to some major website.
Yeah.
An A.C.B.A. photographer. So I thought that was really cool, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, when you see this tomorrow, let them know the A.C.B.A. podcast sent you, baby.
For sure.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody in the chat, hashtag A.C.B.A. on the comments of their post, for sure. Please hold it down for Brandon. Yeah,
And
man. We
if I may just sort of reiterate what I think Boog was saying there when he was hitting the reboot button. We're
But
back on Wednesday
scroll out
for
or
regular
something?
Wednesday and Friday shows. Yeah, you were kind of cutting out. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
We'll be doing the regular Wednesday and Friday shows, of course. And the next week we're in Santiago for the Comic Con, and so it's gonna be tough. Wednesday is preview night, so we're not gonna rush to put together a podcast. We're still kind of working out details and stuff, but there will be coverage come Comic Con next week. So definitely make sure you follow at Articulated Comic Book Art, at A.C.B.A_podcast, all of us individually, and of course our lovely guest Brandon at Posable Productions.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely.
Boog, take us out.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell down there. And until next time, peace.
All right. Have a great Monday.
Goodbye.
All right.
Later. Dust the trade.
Hey, you want to take care of the,
I'll let you know when it's over. This is great. This is the best time we've ever made.
Tight 30. Pretty tight 35, really.
Tight 30.